Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, Deborah.
We release these on Tuesdays too, yeah.
Jeez, I'm not even gonna respond to that because the fact that we've done this for so long and I'm pretty sure we've always released podcasts on Tuesday from the very
Record on
first
Tuesdays,
podcast
we
that we
release on
did.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, you know, that's okay. I don't know. You know what? I shouldn't expect you to know that because,
Minor detail.
well, it's a minor detail for you because you don't do it. So when you have to edit the podcast and release the podcast and promote the podcast, all that stuff, it's weird. I actually have a pretty good idea when these things drop and when we record. Just saying. But I understand if you don't do anything and you just show up sometimes that you wouldn't really know the schedule. So I don't blame you. It's my own fault. I've allowed this to happen.
You've created a monster.
My
So
own fault. You know what the
you
problem
have
is
no one
that
to blame but yourself.
pretty pretty much. You know why? Because we don't make any money doing this. If we made some money, then maybe there would be something to like hold you more accountable. But really, it's just like, hey, you want to talk on Tuesday? You're like, maybe. We'll see.
I'm
So
like, what
you're
time?
right. It is my fault.
Like, what time? 8 o'clock again? Okay, I'll be there.
Yeah. What is this again? Like, how dare you? Character combine, right? Like, oh, you have no clue what we're doing.
Oh, character combine.
You know what? Actually, I'm glad that I mentioned that. I believe that this episode marks. I think we this is the longest podcast we've done.
This one, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I
Really?
think so. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look it up. Not that anybody cares about this, because I'm sure there aren't too many people that listen to Character Combine and this one, but I'm pretty sure this
Wow.
this will be episode 129. Oh no, I'm wrong. This we tied. We're tying the record right now.
Tied. Okay.
Yeah, we're tying the record right now, which is pretty cool.
And there's no end in sight, so we're just going to keep going.
That almost makes me want to cry that you would say that, because usually it's like, I don't know, this might be my last one. But recording next week, we'll see. The fact that you're like no end in sight, I'm a little emotional.
It just made Josh so happy.
I did. I don't want to record tonight because we're going to ruin this moment. I know for a fact within 5 minutes this moment will be ruined. But whew, all right, we'll
Keep
continue.
going. We're still
All right,
here.
I'll try to gather myself. It's gonna be tough though.
I'm still here 90% of the time, so it's like
90
not 100.
percent of the time this year. Let's not get too crazy because I think your overall batting average is still not great.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that's good for this year so far. I feel like last year I was down to like 85%, but I feel like this year I'm at 90%. No, I think I'm at like 93%.
For this year?
Yeah, I think.
You've only missed two. Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Pretty good.
Did that, see? But yeah.
Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Deb?
Well, we're supposed to be recording with Nicole
Yep.
right now, right?
Shout out to Nicole.
I know, Nicole, poor thing. So she had a carpal tunnel surgery scheduled. It was supposed to be scheduled for later at a later time, but at the last minute last weekend, it got pushed up to yesterday. She had messaged me because I had agreed to like help give her rides or whatever she needs. And so yes, that's why Nicole's not here, but she'll come back at a later time when she's feeling. But her surgery went well.
Good.
Recovering it nicely.
Yeah, we definitely want her back because we always enjoy having conversation with Nicole. That's a cool sweatshirt. Where'd you get that?
So this is from Nicole's closet.
Thief.
Yeah, and I still have it. I don't know when she's gonna get it back. So because
she probably doesn't know either.
Again, when I picture,
you steal stuff.
Okay, hang on. I'll do a quick story of why I have this on and she knows all of this, so she laughed too. So I dropped, when I dropped her.
Hold on. She was straight out of surgery. Of course she laughed. She was out of it. You said it. How dare you? I feel like you're leaving out details that you shared with me before we started recording. You said she was out of it. She has no clue what she's doing. I asked her for the keys to her car, all these different things. Asked her social security number, her bank account information. That's all the stuff you said before we started.
Listen, I gotta tell you how I got this sweater. So when I dropped her off, it was like in the afternoon. They're like, yeah, come back in like 4 hours. The time, that's the whole time, like prepping and then surgery and whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I ended up going home and got some errands done, did some laundry, and I'm keeping track of the time. And then I'm like, oh, I have time to go for a run. So I'm like on a jog, and I get a phone call, and I'm like, who is it? And I'm like, oh, this better not be the hospital. And then it was Kaiser, and they're like, yeah, so Nicole's out of surgery. She's ready for you to pick her up. I'm like
How far? Hold on. How far were
a
you?
mile away from my house, from my apartment. I never ran so fast. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll be there. They're like, well, when do you think you'll be here? I was like, well, I'm in Rancho Cordova, and this was a Kaiser in South Sac, and they're like, okay, they're like, well, that's fine. Yeah, just we'll see you soon. And it was like 5 o'clock traffic. So
Oh,
I sprinted so fast. I can't even tell you what my mile time was on that, because I
just
was
flying.
just flying. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So anyway, so by the time I fly into my apartment, um, I just quickly changed because I'm like sweating bullets now at this point, even though it's like chilly outside. So like I don't have time to get my temperature down or anything. I'm literally like, I just changed my shirt. I was running in a long sleeve shirt. I just changed that into a short sleeve shirt because I'm like burning up. And I grab my keys and go. And so I pick her up in a short. So by the time I get there, by the time we get situated in my car, by the time I drive her to her house, I'm like, I'm freezing. Like I'm pretty cold. And so I'm helping her get situated in her house. So anyway, I was cold. I didn't have a sweater, and I went and got her food, and I was like, I need some. So I got this from her closet. So I don't know. She might get it back. She might not. We'll see. But it's pretty comfortable. So
Yeah, it seems like it. I'm sure she'll get it back in like 6 years.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, and we know how this works. We don't need to discuss this again, but you have a pattern of thievery. So, you know,
It's way more fun to steal my friends' clothes than to actually clothes shop.
all right. Like you need to tell a therapist about that, but we'll move on.
No problem. Yeah, no, so that's why I have this sweater on, and that's why Nicole's not here, and she will catch up with us at a later time.
Yes, which we look forward to because we always, like I said, we always enjoy chatting with Nicole. And so, yeah, uh, shout out to you, Nicole. Hopefully you have a quick recovery and you can get on here
Yeah,
soon.
she's on all kinds of great drugs. She's doing great.
There you go. It's probably better than this podcast, I'm sure. So good for you.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, man.
so yeah. What else is up? School's almost over. Well, 6 weeks, but that's still the countdown is on. So
Yep.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure.
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
6 weeks. I'm sure it feels like 6 months sometimes, but
That's a long stretch because we had spring break in the middle of March. And so from there, there's been no like weekend, like, there's been no days off.
sure.
So it's been fun.
How's the
But
how's body working going?
body work, my body work school. That's
Yeah.
good. That's the only time I have like if I miss work, then that's where I'm at. And so oh, it's great. Yeah. I am learning a lot, except for I missed class on Sunday because my battery died in my car. So that was a whole nother day of drama. And
That's a
then
bummer.
yeah. Yeah, it sucked. So I couldn't get to class. So but that's okay. I got a new battery.
You just
It's
find someone on the side of the road. It's like, hey, I got to get my work in. Just come over here real quick. I'm going to squeeze your back.
I need to practice. Yeah,
You
exactly.
could have
Yeah.
traded that for a battery.
Huh?
They got like an hour-long massage, like practice massage, and then someone else buys you the battery.
Luckily, my car was still under warranty, so my dealer just gave me a new battery. So that was nice. So I didn't have to do
Okay,
any
good.
body work.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Well, yeah. Then I guess if you gave a massage at the body or the dealership, then it would be, you'd be duped. It's like, ooh, they got me. This thing's still under warranty. You got a free massage. How dare you?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How much
So
longer for that? How much longer for your schooling?
I will be done. Well, I'll be able to get. I will be done at the end of summer or at the beginning of fall. Like I have my schedule out to the end of summer, but they don't have the fall schedule out yet. So I won't be quite done with the program at the end of summer, but I'll be almost done. So whenever the fall schedule comes out, then I can see what classes I need. And it's not like, like college, like where there's this order or a
Sure.
sequence. You just kind of the schedules out, you pick what classes you're able to go to, and those are the hours that you get. So
Nice.
yeah,
And your friends are all benefiting from this the practice.
they love it. There's a line out the door.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Like
There's a schedule. I got a schedule with them. I have a schedule of people that I'm practicing on. So yeah.
so
So
now
it's
do you question whether or not they're really there to see you and spend time with you, or
all
is it
right.
you understand, right? It's like they're here to get the free massage.
I see. Well, no, I make them feed me dinner. So there's some
Ah, very smart. You know what? You're smart. That's a good call.
feed me dinner / donations.
Now,
So
donations, like financial, like money.
mhm,
Oh,
like
look at that.
to help me to help finance myself through school.
You put like a tip jar out.
Yeah.
You should. Has like a little mermaid, like a mermaid on it, like a mermaid mouth. You just
There
put
you
the
go.
coin in the mermaid's mouth.
Mhm,
There you go.
exactly. Yep. I tell them help me get through school. That way I can do this. So
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They do benefit from it.
financial aid in my
But
own
like
way.
once you're actually in it and you're certified, or whatever the case is, then that rides over, right? Everybody's like, you have to tell everybody like, hey, you pay up. Like this casserole, this
Yeah,
lasagna is not gonna cut anymore.
they're getting a good deal right now, and I think they know that. So they're like, me, me, me. I'm like, yay, okay, we both benefit. It's great.
See, there you go. And honestly, if you were bad at it, they probably wouldn't tell you anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, this is not a great massage, but it's still a massage. So, you know, sure,
I'll take it.
throw her a cheeseburger. It's fine.
I just need to eat dinner.
Yeah. Jeez.
I just need food.
Yeah, yeah. That's what's gonna happen. That's probably what happens, right? You're giving your friends massages, and they can hear your stomach growling the whole time. It's like, geez, this is not relaxing at all. What are we
Yeah,
being massaged by a bear? Let's feed her so we can actually relax during this massage. That's probably what's happening.
exactly. That's why I eat sometimes first.
It's
Before
probably
no.
good. They chuck a protein bar at you, like, hey, eat this to call them. Now
Like
give me a
more,
massage. It makes more
right?
sense.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've
So
never had a massage.
you haven't?
No, that's actually a good question. Was that something that like, do you enjoy massages, or because that'd be
Yes.
kind of weird if you didn't enjoy it but you went into
Yeah.
that work.
Oh yeah. I mean, I never I'm not one to get one regularly.
Sure,
Um even before massage school. Now in class we practice on each other, so I get lots of them now actually. Um
okay,
why do
yeah,
you say Caleb?
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. So some people are like, I don't want to. I get it. Not everyone, like some of my friends are like, oh my God, I could never touch people.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
like I don't
It's
care.
like so, one of your friends is like, ooh,
Yeah. Like, I don't want to touch you,
be a
but you can.
tough massage. If you heard that while you're on the table, it's like, man, I'm not relaxing more now. All I can think about is what I look like, what this person sees. It'd be tough.
Right.
Yeah,
I would like go to like reflexology places.
sure,
And then I've gotten a couple of like massages at some spas before,
sure.
but nothing to where it's like regularly scheduled, and I didn't have like my own massage therapist or anything, um but yeah, so I love massages.
Okay.
Like I will fall asleep. Like it's super relaxing for me.
See, that makes sense. I feel like you would. I mean, maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe there are people that would enjoy, like, get into that line of work, but then don't themselves enjoy it. It would just seem kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to, well, because you have to, you need to know what it feels like so that when you are working on someone, so that
Yeah, just
you
killing them.
can perceive what it feels like
Yeah.
for them.
It's like, does
Yeah.
this feel good? Urgh. It's
Yeah.
like basically like trying to touch their chest or their back.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
like, well, like in our instructors will tell us you give the types of massages that you like usually. So you need to know which, like, that's usually kind of what happens, they say, which makes sense.
Interesting.
Well, because like if someone, if someone is doing like deep tissue, I don't know, on my, on my back or like
Sure.
my legs and I know that I like that, then that's something that I'm going to try to do. If that, you know, like it's, you just kind of you kind of give the massages that you like typically. But then there's all these specialties and modalities. I don't know. I could go on forever and ever about this. I'm learning so much. So it's good.
You
But
probably have some like creep from one of our YouTube viewers is like, I love rub and tugs. That's the kind of massage I would give. It's like, all right, that's probably not meant for you, sir.
it's like
Yeah,
no happy endings here.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, it's like, all right, well, I misunderstood what Deb said. That's my personal favorite. I'm like, all right. Again, I aim that towards our YouTube friends because it's wild out there on YouTube. Some real weirdos.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they still commenting?
Not as much
I don't.
anymore. Every once in a while. Yeah, we've had some people. It's like sometimes, and I had somebody on my other podcast, I had somebody comment something on TikTok and it was dumb. But what can you do? What can you do? You
Hang on.
respond, it's like, hey man, thanks for commenting.
Thanks for commenting.
It's pretty much what I did.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for
Thanks for the love.
commenting. And I'm like, this is what we were talking about. And then I
We're,
asked for an explanation of what he was trying to say. And it's amazing. He didn't say anything back. So
we're like, we'll take any attention, any. So thanks.
pretty much. Oh, you'll be amazed at how I cut up the massage talk clips.
Let's see.
And people are like, Deb does what? Like, don't worry about it. Just check out the podcast. You'll get more of an explanation. And that's like, it's gonna be a huge letdown. It's like, oh, I thought she did something completely different. Nope. Like Deb said, we gotta get the views up, the downloads up. So
Yeah, I will. I'll be sacrificed. It's fine.
I appreciate that. All right.
Oh, that took a turn. But anyway,
This is fun.
yeah.
Oh, you
Uh,
see what I did there?
what? Oh yeah, look at you. Good
Jeez. All right.
segue.
Well,
Fun.
that's like I threw an alley oop up and you just watched it and just let it go. You didn't even try to dunk it. All right, here we go. Hey, this is
This is
fun, Deb.
fun. Let's talk. What are we going to talk about today?
I was passing. Okay.
Oh, you're passing it to me. Okay, gotcha. Well, Josh
I
found
threw
an
a second. I
article.
threw a second alley oop and nothing. All right.
I've never been good at basketball. Sorry. Well, Josh found an article uh, called "Here's Why You Should Make a Habit of Having More Fun" by April Fulton, published February 4th, 2023. I don't know if you want to post. It's from NPR.org.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I probably won't post it. You guys can
Okay.
find it.
Okay. Well,
But
I just want to give credit because, yeah. So
that's the author in you.
we're so
Citing your
popular. I don't
source.
want to. We're so popular. I don't want to get sued for copyright. So
Yeah.
we just have to.
I might be excited if we got sued. Like, dang, people are listening.
No, we are that popular that we are getting sued. This is amazing.
It's pretty nice. No, please don't sue us. No, yeah, I saw someone post something. A guy named Russell Breton, who I follow on Instagram. Really cool guy. Really successful at what he does. And he posted something in his story today. And it was some quote. I think he was quoting someone talking about having fun and the importance of having fun and making sure that, or I think it was even like using the word play, like making sure even as an adult, you still play because it's a big part of life. And you kind of sometimes when you get older, you start neglecting that because more responsibilities come into your life, more things, more stresses, more worries. And then sometimes the fun stuff is neglected or pushed to the side. So I saw that and I'm like, oh, that'd be actually a really interesting thing to talk about. So I found the article and I thought they did a pretty good job of kind of giving us some simple ideas about what, the benefits of fun and why it's so important for our life.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it. I want to talk about so it says happiness is a state of mind, but fun is something you can do. It doesn't require education, money, or power. All it requires is intentionality. If happiness is a mirage, fun is your backyard oasis. So anyway, that was a good quote from the article, but they have, I think they have 5 points.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And then the first one is, stop worrying about how happy you are, which I thought was interesting because I'm wondering if you ever even think about, like, is that something we think about? Are we worried about how happy we are? Are we thinking that we should be happy? Like, are we, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you, at the end of the day, do you sit down and do you evaluate how happy you were that day? I know sometimes that I sit down at the end of the day and I'm like, oh, today was rough, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
but
sure.
I don't know that I think of I wasn't happy today. I feel like I just like even like my friends will call and text and be like, what are you doing? How was your day? Not every day, but we'll just, check in with each other um and I'm like my friends can read me like a book. So sometimes they're like, what's wrong? And I'll just kind of say like today was just annoying. Or I'll be
Yeah.
like, no, today was chill. Today was a great day. But I don't I don't believe I ever say like I wasn't happy or I was really happy to like I don't know if I use that term. Maybe I don't know. Maybe me saying like, oh, it was a rough day or oh, it was an annoying day. It's just another form of saying I wasn't happy. I don't know. It's weird because it's like I've never thought about that consciously, like if I ever worry about how happy I am throughout the day or throughout the weeks.
Yeah. Well, I feel like sometimes, yeah, because I agree. I don't know how often I think, hey, I'm happy, specifically. I think like you said, hey, today was a good day, today was a bad day. And I don't even think you explicitly think that in your mind. I think it's more just the feeling you have, right? Like you're
Yeah.
on a high. It's like if you really thought about it in that moment, hey, today was a good day. When you're a little
Mhm.
bit lower, when you're down, you're struggling a little bit more. It's like, man, today was a little bit rougher.
Mhm.
But I always think that sometimes when people think about happiness and where they're at, it's almost like they look ahead seeking happiness, right? We've talked before about, or you've shared a little bit about money, right? And people, how having more money definitely gives you more opportunities and allows you to do the things that you're passionate about and the things that you love. But I think for some people, the idea of money or a certain amount of money, they do tie it to happiness, and then they don't tie it to the opportunities that money presents, but they tie it to, man, if I have this much money, then I'll be happy. If I have this job, then I'll be happy. If I have this house, then I'll be happy. This car, I'll be happy. This boyfriend or girlfriend, wife, husband, then I'll be happy. And sometimes I think we look at it in that way where there's these things, whether it's an object or a goal that we associate with happiness.
Mhm.
And I think that can be a really tricky place sometimes too, because that's usually a lot of times you look at that. And if that's what your happiness hinges on, most likely you're going to be disappointed because it's probably not going to quite live up to what you were hoping for, right? And the bottom line is a lot of those things fade after time, right? The
Yeah.
excitement of a new relationship, right, changes after time. It can still be exciting, but it's not as exciting as it was when you first jumped into a new relationship, when you have a new job, when you first got that big paycheck. And so I do think sometimes we look at it in like a future tense, right? Like if I can get here, I'll be happy. But I think when we do that, we neglect the current state of happiness that we could be in if we really took the time to appreciate it.
Yeah. Right. Well, and then in this article, it says happiness is really an evaluation. You are constantly asking yourself what is going right and what is going wrong. It can
Right.
become and then it says people who highly value happiness may end up feeling, quote, disappointed about how they feel, paradoxically decreasing their happiness the more they want it. So um, that's interesting because you would think, someone who's focused on like evaluating their happiness at the end of the day, I guess it depends on like what you do with that then I guess, but you would think that then they would try to focus on how they could be happy the next day. But I do see how that can set you up for disappointment because you're not going to be happy every day. Like that's
Right.
just impossible. like
Right.
like we're human, we're not robots, and there's going to be days where it's like, no, today was a bad day and today, I was angry, irritated, whatever, adjective you can think of. But yeah, we're not going to be happy every day. So if you evaluate your life or what you do every day based on that, then yeah, you're going to for sure be disappointed because you're definitely not going to be happy every day.
Right. And I
So
think there's a
focus on that. Yeah.
yeah, no, I agree. Well, I think what you said too is that there's a difference between like I think you could have a bad day
Hmm.
and still overall be happy,
Right.
right? It's kind of
Right.
like with anger, right? Like I've been angry. I'm sure you've been angry, right? There's been moments where you get
I've never,
angry, you punch a window,
no,
right?
I've never called out guys on this podcast before.
Not by name, not yet. It's coming.
Okay, go ahead.
And if you're interested in more of that, go check out Not Here to Judge, where she goes in deeper with all that stuff. It's a good listen. But
I need to
yeah,
record on that again. So much content since then, since the last recording, that I need to just go ahead and put things on blast. So
you probably
maybe I'll
should.
start again this summer. We'll see.
Don't hold your breath, but maybe everybody.
Hold your breath.
Um, hey, if you do start up again, we need to talk because I have a couple ideas. Not a big deal. It's
Okay.
your podcast, but it's kind of under this umbrella. So just hear me out. Okay.
It's my baby, but it's your like niece. I get it.
Huh. Well, part of me wants to dissect that more, but I don't feel like it. So I'm not smart enough to like really think about that. That probably like, wait a minute, what? Okay. That being said, like I was saying, restart. All messed up. No, but like people have moments of anger.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that that person is an angry person. That doesn't mean that person has anger issues. But I think most people at certain points will feel moments of anger, right? We all feel sadness because of different things that happen in our life, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're sad people. We just have those moments. And the same with happiness. Like you could, or I'm just gonna be like a bad day. Like you might have a bad day, but that doesn't mean that you're in a bad mood all the time. That doesn't mean you're down all the time. It doesn't mean you're depressed. You just had a bad day. But in general, like I know people that have bad days, but in general, I still think of them as a happy person. I think they're still a person who likes having fun and who prioritizes like joyful activities, fun activities in their life. But like you said, life happens and things happen. So not everybody's gonna have a perfect life. And that's the thing too. To your point, what you were just read, I think that's the problem. If you're constantly looking at, am I happy today? Like if you were just constantly walking around with like a book, right? A notebook. It's like, I'm happy right now. Okay, now 2 o'clock, not so happy. 3 o'clock, happier. 4 o'clock, really happy. 5 o'clock, not happy at all. It's like that's gonna drive someone insane. Even me saying that for 4 hours, I just went through 4 hours of happiness. That is insane. And so for
Yeah.
someone to do that, even if they're doing it mentally, I for
Yeah.
sure could see why that would be a problem because you're focused on every single moment. When I
Yeah.
think the goal would be, in general, are you happy with your life when you deal with the challenges and the obstacles that lead to bad days?
Yeah.
Does it derail you so much where you're not happy anymore, or is it just a bump in the road and you get right back on that happy road again? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's exhausting. Like
Yeah,
not
it's
only it's
horrible.
not not only is that attainable, but it's exhausting. Yeah. So just doing that would not make me happy.
Right. Well, and it's not gonna make the people around you happy either. Like, not that that should
Right.
be your goal is to make other people happy, but I will tell
Yeah.
you this: if I was around someone like that, that would be a tough person to be around, and it's going to affect your relationships too. Because like, how do you be around someone that's constantly trying to judge and critique
Right.
how happy they are all the time? Like, it'd be tough.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that just yeah, again, the one word I can think of is exhausting.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm trying to think maybe I subconsciously do it sometimes, but like I don't think I've ever been like, am I happy like keeping tally, keeping score like that. Uh but
But like
yeah,
but the overall point was like part of being happy and part of focusing on fun in life is not trying to basically measure your happiness because like I said it's an evaluation, right?
yeah,
And so
right.
it's not like necessarily, at least in my opinion, it shouldn't be an end goal.
Right.
It should be more just an overarching theme to your
Yeah.
life, right? Not the finish line, but it's the race, right? It's the journey. Like that's what brings happiness, not so much,
It's
you
yeah,
know,
it's the process.
the process. There you
Process.
go.
Which brings to number two, if I can move on to number two.
Oh, you can.
So process.
I will allow
Find
it.
yeah. Is that from The Office?
I think so. It's from the deposition,
Oh, it is. It is.
which
Did Michael or Dwight say that? That was Michael.
that's what it's probably.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I've gone on record saying this, and I still believe it. That 1-2 punch of episodes, you go from deposition to dinner party.
I mean,
I don't know if it gets any better than that. Maybe if you guys are Office fans and you have a better 1-2 punch, let me know. But for me personally, it does not get any better than that.
just back to back. Those are the best.
Yeah.
Okay. But okay, so number 2, find your fun magnets. So, um, let's see. It says, put your phone away for a while and come up with 3 to 4 memories when you had real fun.
Yeah.
Um, so just thinking of activities that I guess that are fun, like it's, it's super self-explanatory, but so for me, my like if I can think of my own fun magnets, a lot of great memories I have is I go to a lot of concerts with friends, just trips. Like really, if I really sit down and think about in all the fun memories I've made with people, um, and it doesn't really have a ton to do with money. Like, yeah, some of them, like obviously they cost money, but um is hanging out with friends, because whether they come over here to my apartment and we do a dinner night, or I go to their house, or we go to a concert, or I go off to Europe, like it for the one time in my whole life that I can, it's the people that I'm around. So I have found that my friends are my fun magnets, because anywhere we go, um those are the fun memories that are created. So I think that's what that point was trying to make. And it says fun can be, the article says fun can be many different things. It's really whatever tickles your sense of delight is what it says. So for me, it's hanging around friends. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, to be able to like try to figure out what it is you like to do to have fun, and just kind of stick with that. And I think, yeah, so my friends are my fun magnets. We could do anything and then we're going to make memories.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. And especially with me and like my family, uh, you know, that's where that fun is always had. And yeah, it's interesting too, because I feel like it's weird. So you make memories, right? So you may have a memory, like for me, for example, I have these memories of certain moments in family vacations, right? And in the moment, it was just a crazy amount of fun, and we were laughing, having a good time. Something embarrassing happened to someone, right? Something happened which was created a fun memory, and then people keep that memory with them, and you carry it almost like a backpack. And
Mhm.
then when you're having conversations with people, every once in a while, that memory, you'll pull that memory out and share it with everybody. And then it just brings all that fun like rushing back again, because you remember the moment, you remember how funny it was. It provides joy and fun in this new moment that could be like 10, 15, 20 years down the road. But that moment that you spent with the people, your fun magnets, right? It's still
Mhm.
providing joy and fun now, just in a completely different way. It's now in the form of a memory that was a lot of fun. So it's interesting how that stuff works, because, like you said, the people that you would consider fun magnets, or the activities that you think would be fun magnets, it's not just fun in the moment, but like those memories kind of stay with you as well. And that's, I guess, is why it's a magnet, right? Because it always draws you back to that moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I was actually when Nicole and I, when I was taking her to her appointment yesterday, she was like, because she was one of the ones that went on the Europe trip, when I went last year. And she was like, "Oh, we need to go on another trip this summer." And so she was already like trying to plan something. And she's like, that was so much fun. We need to go somewhere. And then I had to sadly tell her, Nicole, I can't spend any more money this year at all, but maybe next year. But like but again, I understood, because it is the whole sense of that is her fun magnet, is the people that she hangs out with, and then going places and just having and making those memories. Yeah, carried around forever. Like even like pictures help bring up memories, right? But even without pictures, it's like Deb and I will just start talking about, oh my gosh, remember in Europe when this happened, or remember at this concert when this happened. Like we don't even need pictures. Like we just start talking about it and we
Yeah.
create jokes, and um it's just, yeah, so those definitely have been the most memorable things, and family trips too. I've been, last year I did a ton of stuff with my friends.
You
Too
had a,
many things, too
you had a
many things.
busy
I don't know
summer.
what I was thinking. I thought I was a millionaire. I can't go anywhere this year. I'm gonna have to wait for next year, but worth it.
Oh, for sure. Well, you have all those memories to, remind you that it was worth it. But no, I do remember
Yeah.
last year that before the summer started, basically when you ended school,
Mhm.
we had a conversation. You're like, hey, just a heads up, this summer is packed. So,
Things I'm
which I
doing.
appreciated. And then you kind of explained it like, geez, that is wild. It was like finding Carmen San Diego. Like, I don't know where she's at today.
But I had Tuesdays open. Isn't that crazy?
That was
Remember,
the
I
weird
said
part of that.
so I have Tuesdays open, but I'm gone all the other days for some reason.
Yeah, and it was
Weekend.
everybody notices that she said for some reason. I don't know why Tuesdays are still open, but it wasn't like she did that intentionally. It's like, oh yeah, we have a podcast. I can't do Tuesdays. It was like, it just worked out. Can you believe that? I'm like, I can't.
It just worked out.
It's amazing.
I didn't even have to tell someone I can't do that podcast. It was great. I didn't have to say that at all.
Yeah.
I just didn't have any plans on any days. It
See,
was
there we
great.
go. It worked. It worked out. But yeah, no.
Yeah,
So
no.
fun magnets are good things for sure. I like the term too, fun magnet, because for some people it's I'm sure they like being around people, but for some people a fun magnet might be traveling. Just the idea of traveling and going places, that might be their fun magnet. Whereas like if they can go anywhere, whether it's with someone or without someone, doesn't matter. That's their fun magnet. Sports. I mean, anything really can be your fun magnet. So it's good to, I think, identify those things. And I would love to know if anybody's willing to share in the comments when we post this episode what your fun magnet is. You know,
Yeah.
fun
Yeah.
magnet also kind of sounds dirty, if I can be honest. Like it kind
What?
of, right?
Now it sounds dirty that you said that, but
I don't know
yeah.
why it just hit me. It's like, hey, want to do a fun magnet? Like, what I mean? Something could be a problem, but that's not how we're using it, everybody.
I mean, we already talked about happy endings. What did you
Yep.
call it? What was the other thing you called it?
I'm gonna say it again. Rub and tug.
Rub and tugs. And now fun magnets. Okay. Well, maybe that's why.
There you go. If you guys have any other nicknames for those type of massage parlors, let us know. Try to
Or
educate everybody.
Jesus. But fun magnets. Okay. So that brings me to number 3.
Okay.
Number 3 says put fun on the calendar. Okay. I live and die by my calendar. If it's not on my calendar on my phone, I won't, it's just not there. It's just gone, invisible. I won't do it.
Sure.
I don't know. It's funny. Like I'll yell at Deb sometimes because I'll remind her of something and she'll be like, wait, what? That's what we're doing, or we're doing that or whatever. I'm like, I swear to God, if you didn't put it in your calendar, huh? And she's like, no. And I was like, put it in your calendar. I just like will yell at her
You
because
have a
I'll
shared
be
calendar.
forgetting. Oh yeah. That's why we have a shared calendar because she won't put stuff in her calendar.
See, there we go. That's why we have a
No.
shared calendar for this podcast.
Yeah. We do it. Yeah. Well, once again, if it's not in there, I'll be like, oh, I have a free day. Like, I'm not even joking. So literally everything is in my calendar down to if I'm subbing for someone on my prep period, I put it in my calendar. I've literally started to schedule on workouts for myself in my calendar because every day is becoming different and it's throwing my workout routine off.
Sure.
So I just, like, if it's again, so anyway, putting fun on the calendar, I totally can resonate with because if it's not there, we'll forget about it and it won't happen. So
Yeah. Well, and like I said at the beginning of this podcast, part of the reason why as adults sometimes fun is neglected is because we get so busy with the everyday routine of life, the responsibilities, the stresses, the worries, everything that we have to deal with, that all pops up. And so what gets neglected? It's the fun stuff, the stuff that brings you joy, that kind of brings, excitement to your life. That's the stuff that gets pushed to the side. And now sometimes there's times where you have to move that to the side so you can get the stuff that you need to get done. But that's where the value of the calendar comes in, right? Scheduling it. If you put it in there, then it becomes a part of your routine. And it's not something that you just have to squeeze in whenever you can. It's like, okay, I'm going to make this a regular part of my week,
right.
my day. It's not always as easy as that. Things come up, but if you can do that as much as possible, it probably helps a
Yeah.
ton.
Well, like even on Thursdays, it's my soccer night. We're currently taking a couple of seasons off, so we're not playing right now, but I still have on Thursdays, I still pencil in soccer girls at whatever time just because we're still getting together.
Sure.
So even with that, like it's just if it's in the calendar, then it's almost like there's no for me at least, there's no excuse to not, and I value time with my friends. So I think it's super important for me every week to keep up with, or as best we can to keep up with what we're all doing. So
Sure.
yes, I think putting fun on the calendar. Well, and then in the article, and it talks about, some people don't like to do that because they want the spontaneity of just planning something at the last minute, which is fun too, and I appreciate it. But sometimes, and I said like, and I know it's not just me, because I know it's like we're all busy. Like, you have a family. Like we're busy, and so I personally sometimes like can't even, like if someone's like, "Hey, do you want to do something tonight?" And I'm like, I mean, I want to, but I have XYZ to, like, I know, like, can we plan something? And then, and then nothing. And so yeah, the spontaneity is fun when it works, but I feel like with today, like I'm like, no, I have to put on a calendar. I was actually the last guy that I dated, he always wanted to do like last minute stuff. And he said like, "Hey, why can't I ask you last minute?" And I'm like, "Do you want me to show you my calendar? Like, this is not going to work."
I'm
And it
sorry.
didn't work, by the way. But
I'm sorry. I don't know this world. That just sounds silly.
yeah, so
Why can't I ask last minute? Oh, you hear the
I,
door.
I'm not even joking. That's how.
Hey, you want to go? You're at my house? What are we doing?
No. Oh yeah, no, it would be a text like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I'm like, I'm podcasting, or oh, or I have
Oh,
soccer, or I'm
thank
like
you.
I told you I'm doing things, so you need to like let me know. And by the way, my friends are gonna beat you to the punch anyway, because they will plan stuff ahead. They don't ask me last minute. So I literally would have to show them my calendar for the week. And then after a while I gave up. I was like, never mind, it's not gonna work. You lost, buddy. Sorry. If you don't care to stick with my calendar, it's not gonna work.
Like, hey, bro, I gave you a copy. What do you want?
I gave you a copy of my calendar.
So are you
No,
going to book in advance?
yeah. Yeah, so putting it on the calendar I think is important, because
Yeah,
for me, again, personally for me, then I'll do it. And then that's something that will, like, if my friends and I are like, "Oh, maybe on Friday let's try to do XYZ," and we're all kind of iffy about it, to me I'm like, we're probably not doing that. And I want to make sure I have room for something else, or I want to know if I can go home and relax. And
sure.
so that's just me. But
Yeah.
anyway, so
Well, and I think for some people too, again, if you're looking at expanding the fun experience, I think part of it is the anticipation to do the thing that you're excited to do, right? The fun thing that you have scheduled. So when you put in your calendar, it gives you something that's locked in that you can look forward to. So if it's,
for sure.
say it's Friday evening,
Mhm.
and you look at your calendar like, oh dang, I'm golfing with some buddies tomorrow morning. Like, it just gives you it kind of stretches out the excitement, and it stretches out the fun. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I get to do this, and it's on your mind. Like, that fun thing is on your mind. So even if you're having a rough week, in the
Right.
back of your mind, there's still that thing. It's like, oh, I can't wait until Friday because I'm going to be able to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it kind
Oh
of creates
yeah.
some excitement for you.
Well, and I feel like there can still be spontaneity if you, like, let's say you just tell your friends, "Hey, let's hang out, I don't know, Saturday night, whatever." And everyone's like, "Well, what do we want to do?" And be like, "I don't know, let's figure it out then." So
Sure.
like I'll even put in my calendar, who I'm hanging out with, and I'll put a question mark, meaning we don't know what we're doing. We just know that we're getting together.
But you are
And
hanging
that
out.
but we are hanging out, and that part is fun too. And if it's in my calendar, I'm like, okay, that means we're for sure doing something. We'll just figure it out at the last minute.
Yeah.
So I feel like for me that satisfies the spontaneity part of what we want to do, because we know we have plans.
Yeah.
And if just like, and sometimes we'll just be like, one person will be like, "Well, let's go to this place first for happy hour." And
Yeah.
then after that, then someone can pick, "Okay, well, let's go to this place next." Like, we'll just try to, like, we don't need a plan for the whole evening, or like even
Sure.
where we're going. But I feel like for sure putting it on the calendar is like a solidified, like, we're doing this, because too many
Yeah.
people, like, these days it's like, I
Yeah.
think it's good to have a plan.
Yeah. Well, and I mean this, I don't mean this disrespectfully towards anybody, but the spontaneity thing is great. But I
Yeah,
do think that kind of depends on, but partially depends on the person, but I think a lot of it depends on the amount of responsibilities that you have in your life at that moment, and
for
the
sure.
amount of commitments you have. And that's not to say the person who's just spontaneous with everything has no It's not like they're sitting on the couch just waiting to do something fun. I'm sure they have
Right.
responsibilities, but like, you know, my schedule looks a lot different
Mhm.
than yours. Your schedule looks a lot different than some of your friends.
Okay.
My, you know, what I
Got,
mean,
got to feed kids and put kids to bed. Like,
right? You can't
for
just
one
say like,
example.
"Hey,
One
see you
example.
guys. Well, me and Mama will be back later." It's like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, you just can't do stuff like that. And so again, that's not to say one way is better than the other, but like, it really does come down to what you have, you know, what responsibilities you have in your life, what your family situation looks like, all of that. So, you know, yeah. But yeah, I think either way, though, putting in the calendar is a good thing. So
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of putting it in the calendar. Like,
put it on the board.
put it
Yep.
on the. I'll tell my friends we'll be texting, and I'll be like, and we'll make plans, and I'll say you're in the calendar, and they'll be like, thanks.
This one really
Like,
came from the heart.
in the calendar. That means it's solidified. We are
You should
hanging out.
you should get like one of those was it you know, I've used like use Calendly, that
Mm-mm.
app where I know some different people that use that, where you basically like they send you a link to a calendar, and then you can click on a date and it shows you whether or not that person's available or which hours they're available from to
Really?
book. Yeah, some different like I like a financial person I know does that, a couple other people. And so you just
That's
like they'll send you a link like, hey, put something on the calendar. It's like, all right. And then it gives you like the time slots. You need to do that.
oh, that's funny.
I'm not
That way,
joking.
that way my friends can see when I'm available.
Pretty much.
What's
And like you don't give details, but it gives you like the time slots that are available.
it called?
Calendly.
Calendly.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
I'm gonna
send
look.
you a link.
Yeah, send me a link because that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
My friends
So
are gonna be like, "What are you making us do?" I'm like, "We're gonna do. We're on. This is a friend calendar."
yeah. Except it's only my schedule.
Schedule. Here you go.
All right. What do we got for number 4?
Okay, number 4 says unplug. No, but seriously. So it basically says like pay attention to how much leisure time you spend on your phone.
Sure.
Obviously we're a generation of phone. Like I can't even talk crap about my kids in my class because I spend just as much time on my phone. Even if it's, I mean, granted, a lot of it is emails and work stuff, but that's just the point is that the article says like, you can spend, never mind social media, but like you could spend time answering phone calls or, work related or reading emails or just kind of being, you can be obsessed with certain things probably. I don't know, checking the
Yeah.
stock market. I don't know. People still do that these days. I don't know. I don't do that. But it's
I
just
don't do that
I don't
either.
know, you're on your
Wrong
phone
podcast.
checking your fantasy team to make sure Deb's not beating you and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
gotta bring that up every
yeah.
once in a while. Checking the Kings game. I don't know. So anyway,
Whatever it may be. Yeah.
whatever it may
It's
be.
weird to
So,
me. It's weird to me when you have someone that doesn't have any form of social media and they're on their phone all the time. It's like, what are you looking at? Because I mean, a big
yeah.
part of it for me is social media.
Yeah.
You know, some sports articles, this stuff here and there. Checking on the podcast to see how our downloads are doing.
Yeah.
And not impressive, but I like to check. And but like when someone's on their phone all the time, but they don't have social media, that's weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can't really speak for adults, but my teenage kid, my students at the end of class, they'll be on their phone and I'll be, even if I'm just walking around to go talk to a student and I'm walking around, I can see them on their phones and they're all playing games. Like they're all playing, I don't even want to, I don't even, sometimes I'm like, what is that? And they'll say that I won't have a game I've never heard of. I don't know, but they're
Okay.
mostly playing games.
Okay. So 2 questions for you. Let me start with this one. Do you play any games on your phone? Have you ever?
Never, I've done, oh, what's it called? The crossword, Words with Friends. I've done Words with Friends before a
I
long
like
time.
Words with Friends.
Huh?
I like Words with Friends.
Yeah, that was fun. But I mean,
Yeah.
literally that's it. I don't do any games on my phone. I don't even do Wordle.
Okay.
Like the game. But anyway, yeah, no, I don't do games.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I was just curious. I don't really play many games on my phone. It's gotta be I've gotta be it's like a typically it's like a jury duty situation or like you know what I
Right.
mean?
Pass the time.
Um yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's got to be a pretty which has happened, but I really don't play that many games. Do you remember when Facebook was, first kind of started getting big and there was that what's it called? The farm one?
Oh yeah.
I'm blanking on
I
the name. What's that
I
stupid
know
game
what you're
called?
talking about. I never did it.
Friends and
But
Farms? I don't know. Farmers Only? I can't remember. It's something
farmers
like
only.
whatever it's called. But no, that was just such a weird thing. Is when you look back, I was talking to someone about this the other day. When you look back, it's like, hey, Deb sent you some turnips. Like, what are we doing here? And then sure enough, I would send someone like, here's some cabbage for your farm. Like, I didn't understand at all why this was happening. I wish I could remember the name of that game.
I know what
People
you're
are probably
talking
screaming at their phones right now. It's like, you idiot. It's called
about, right?
this, but
Someone please let us know. Maybe I'll look it up so people won't go crazy. All of our millions of fans. Hang
all of
on.
them. Yeah. All of you millions of fans, if you could do a better job of downloading so we could see those numbers show up in the downloads, that'd be great.
Farm Game Town. Wait. Farmville.
Farmville. That's what it was.
Is that what it is?
Farmville. Yep.
Okay.
Farmville.
Farmville. Yes. Oh yeah, it's still, I don't know if it's still a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It shouldn't be. I don't really understand the point of it.
I don't know.
I did engage
Well,
for a little bit and like I can't keep sending,
yeah.
carrots to people. So
I've never been into games though, like video games. I mean, maybe for a little bit when, N64 came out,
yeah.
I don't know, like that was a cool thing for a little bit. I did come okay, back when we were like 10-ish, like how the computers were the big boxes, they were huge,
Mm-hmm.
giant. I would play like one-dimensional like games on that, and I can't even remember what they were called. One was called Jill of the Jungle, like literally one-dimensional, like
Jill of the Jungle.
Jill of the Jungle. That was like my jam, but I think I was like 10. Like I never got, that was it. And then
Sure.
I never, because it was the strong female like warrior person. So
No, I got that from the name Jill of the Jungle. I have a pretty good image in my mind.
I was like, yeah, she's badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never got into games. I don't play any games on my phone, but a lot of the kids do. But I don't know
Sure.
if adults do. Anyway, so the whole
Well, so
point of
hold
that.
on. Well, one last thing before we move on from this. So every once in a while, like I'm sure you get game ads on your phone, right? Do you ever see that?
I think so.
Okay, because I'll be using like a different app, and then like even on like YouTube, I'm sure it's happened where you get this app for a game,
Like for Candy Crush or something.
right? And I'm like, what I hate too is when you're trying to exit out of it and you accidentally click it. Like I'm trying to hit that little X in the corner, and then I like it clicks and it opens up. Like, you want to play? No, I didn't want to play. I'm trying to get out of this as fast as possible. But sometimes you see ads like, who would even play this game? Like, this is
Yeah.
wild that you would do this. Like, some of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. And like,
Right.
obviously, someone's playing it. I don't get it, but
It's out there.
maybe I'm
Yeah.
too old. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I just don't play. I don't even know if I wish I had time. I don't think I would play. I think I would just start reading books again or start writing again if I had extra.
That'd probably be a better use. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a better idea. So,
But
anyways, I didn't
yeah,
mean to derail us down the game road
no,
because
no, but that's well, we're talking about phones because, and then the article also says when you're on your, even like when you're on your phone, especially when you're with people, like you can't focus and you're not fully present, which is so true. Like, and there'll be moments when my friends and I, whatever it is we're doing out at dinner, whatever, I'll look up and all of us are because they, they're married, they have kids, whatever. But like that we're all checking our phones at the same time for like maybe a minute. And then we kind of like all put it down, like, okay, done. And then we start, it's weird. It's like there's an in sync, like agreement to, okay, check your phone, respond, and then put it down.
yeah,
We're never, there's no time where we're on our phones the whole time. That does not happen. But I get how, like when I'm on my phone, if I'm responding to something or whatever it is I'm doing, I can hear someone talking to me and I'm saying, uh-huh. And then literally when they're done talking, I have no idea what they said.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Can you start over? I'm like, sorry, and I'll put my phone down. Okay, you have to start over. Like I heard nothing. So
Right,
like I've been guilty of that, and then vice versa. My friends have done that before. So
yeah,
I mean, as much as I think I can multitask, I seriously can't focus if I'm focused on my phone and if someone's talking to me.
right,
Yeah. And
yeah,
so to be present in the moment is important.
yeah. I think um, yeah. I mean, it's just not. It's just kind of mindless. Most of the time, it's just mindless scrolling,
Yeah.
mindless searching. I mean, it really doesn't have that much of a purpose. I'm with you. I don't. I'm not a big fan of people on their phone all the time. Like I said, I'm not. So I know some people don't like it at all. I'm not someone like I said. If you need to check something, check out the family, check out the kids. if you
Yeah.
need to, whatever you need to do, I get that. But I think when you're in the presence of people that you're supposed to be spending time with, and you're just sitting on your phone with, I mean, literally your head buried in your phone the whole time. That's always weird to me.
Yeah.
Um, it's
Yep.
almost like, just why don't you just excuse yourself from the area and go somewhere that's isolated? That way it's not weird with everybody else. That's just my opinion. But I feel
Yeah.
like, the other part too is if you are on social media or if you're looking at different things, and you hear it all the time with social media, you're looking at things and you might find a funny video, something that makes you laugh, which could bring some fun into your life. But then at the same time, if you're also looking at things where it's causing comparison between, like, you're comparing your life to someone else's life, or this person, you know what I'm saying? Like all those different things that you hear about social media, then it's kind of stealing that joy that you have anyways, right? It's kind of like bringing you down. It's not building you up. It's just, putting another thing on your mind that's negative. And it's like, what are you doing? You don't just put it down, like the article said, unplug.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So I like that reminder because we're a very tech, we're in a world of technology right now for
Sure.
sure.
Yep.
And so number 5 is share the fun and amplify it. So it basically, in summary for like this part of the article, it basically talks about how different people, you can meet someone, like let's say you go to something on your own that you really enjoy. I don't know, just like a music lesson or whatever. I don't know. And then you start meeting like-minded people who also like to do that. And then you kind of branch off and create your own group. I feel like with my soccer girls, we've done that to where if we don't play soccer, again, we're doing something else. Like in the summer, we'll do foot golf. And so we'll like that's our version of amplifying it, I guess. It doesn't have to be just soccer. It's just the fact that we're doing something active together, and then we attract more people who also like to do active stuff
Hmm.
uh, with us. And so I think it's definitely, I think if you can hone in on what you really enjoy doing, you just kind of meet people naturally who also like doing that, and then that becomes your people as well. And
Right.
then yeah, even in my profession, like I've found my people because we do like the same things. We all teach PE, we like being active. We don't need to like run marathons every month or anything, but like
Sure.
we'll go paddle boarding, we'll just do stuff. And we also have found collectively that friendship is important and that we, need to stay in touch. Um, and even if we're too busy to hang out, we'll do group chats or we'll do FaceTimes or whatever. And
Yeah.
so anyway, so I think that's what that part of the article is talking about. Like whatever you find that you enjoy, that's a good way to meet people and to kind of branch off into, you can create your own thing from there,
Yeah.
create your
No,
own
that's
fun
good.
magnet.
Yeah. No, that's good for sure. And I think it's also a way to hopefully inspire someone else. Right. And I guess going back to the social media thing, if you do share some of the fun things that you're doing, we
Yeah.
all know, like we just said, that a lot of people are on their phones and checking out social media. You never know, by like sharing some of those fun things. Obviously, you're connecting to people, like you said, that are doing the same things, and your circle of friends and your connections grow. But I think there was also something too, is like you might post something that's like, oh, that seems like pretty cool. It's cool that Deb's doing that thing. It's cool that she's having fun and she's enjoying her life. And hopefully that type of stuff would inspire someone else. You know what? I need to do the same thing. I need to put fun in my schedule, right? I need to find something that I love doing. I need, like you said, I need to find the fun magnets in
Yeah.
my life. And so hopefully stuff like that, when people see you enjoying your life and you focusing on fun and making fun that focus, hopefully it inspires someone else to do the same thing. You know what I mean? And hopefully that fun becomes contagious, not just to the people that you're meeting through whatever fun activity you're doing, but also the people that are looking at you from a distance. Hopefully they're seeing that and saying, you know what? That looks like a really fun life. I want to try to do the same thing or something similar. So it could have
Yeah.
a really cool, you know, like I said, contagious element there, I think.
Yeah. A little ripple effect.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's the 5 points of the article. And it was good. It was refreshing to read. I haven't really, like when you sent it to me, I'm like, I I feel like even with my life, I've been so busy lately that I like I had, I'm usually like all year round, I feel like posting on my story about this weekend, we're going wine tasting. I'm doing this with my friends this weekend. Like right now, I feel like I should be paddleboarding already with my friends. Anyway,
Hmm.
and
I saw people
with,
out there.
oh yeah, I'm sure they are. Oh, I'm jealous. But
Hmm.
for some reason, I'm in a season, and it's a good reason that I'm just with work and with my, new venture I'm doing with massage therapy. I'm like, so busy, and then I have my other friends are kind of busy doing, it's a weird year, I think, in a good way. Like we have all kind of taken on extra things this year for just, whatever purpose, whatever reason that we need, to do that for. And so anyway, so I feel like I've been, not that I'm not happy or having fun, because I still get together with my friends during the week,
Sure.
and which is nice. And so even on the weekends, like, who needs to sleep? Sleep is overrated. So, but but I
You know what? You're not going to get any complaints or arguments here. So
yeah, yeah. So, but anyway, it was refreshing to just kind of read an article about like, oh yeah, like don't forget to carve out time in your schedule to have fun,
sure.
whatever that looks like for you. And I'm glad they mentioned about how to be careful about, don't evaluate yourself of how happy you are, just because that can be like a, shooting yourself in the foot type thing.
Sure.
Focus on each moment, be present. That's what I took away from that article. Be present in the moment, focus on just doing what brings you joy, so you can find a balance in your life and find your fun magnets. spend
Yeah.
time spend time doing that with people or with less people. I don't know, maybe you don't like to surround yourself with a ton of people, that's okay too, but
Yeah.
just do what you need to do for yourself, so that you can just find joy. I like the word joy rather than happiness. I don't know why, but find joy at the end of the day.
I know I'm not sure how much I said happiness during this podcast, but I feel like I've in my mind wants to kind of avoid that
Mhm.
for whatever reason. It kind of sounds silly to me. I don't know why. Obviously happiness is a good thing,
Yeah.
but like the idea of fun or joy is more appealing to me, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
could not make a difference. I don't know.
Even the word fun, like if I can describe a lot of my outings with my friends, it would be fun.
Yeah.
Fun, hilarious, crazy, all those are all positive words for me, I guess, when describing something, something that's fun or happy.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be like a whole different conversation, but yeah, just for whatever reason, it sounds weird to me,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
like too hippy dippy almost. I don't know.
Dippy dippy.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Something about it. But anyways, um, so one thing that I was thinking too, I'm just curious. So what kind of, obviously we know, like you said, spending time with friends, all that, concerts, but like what would be some, before we get out of here, some fun things that you enjoy doing that maybe would not be something that someone would think about, right? Like, or like it would be, so like, for example, I've shared this on this podcast before. It was one of the first things I wrote down. This is so much fun to me. I look forward to it. I'm going to pay a heavy, heavy price one day. I know it, but I'm going to ride until the wheels fall off. During the summer, I love slip and slides. I've said it before. I'm a grown man. I love slip and slides, and I can't express how much joy and fun a slip and slide is to me. I don't care. I see you're laughing, Deb. I don't care. You can't bring down my fun.
Oh, I love that. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just, that's
Your giggle and your
great.
eyes said differently, but that's fine.
Slip and slide. Oh my gosh, I haven't done a slip and slide in forever. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. We're not too old to do slip and slides.
I'll talk to Rachel. You can come over to the house during the summer and we'll get the slip and slide out. We'll, we'll record it for the podcast. And then if the next week you and I record, we're both in cast, then we'll know that was the last time we ever did a slip and slide.
Well,
I'm
okay.
not, you think I'm joking. I'm telling Rachel, like, hey, we have to invite Deb over for the slip and slide. Hey, if you let Deb come over to do slip and slide, she'll give you a free massage.
Okay, well there you go.
I'll tell Rachel.
And dinner. I need to eat.
Let's come on. No, you don't need the slip and slide that badly. But
But
anyways,
well,
yeah.
now that you said that, like, just I don't even know if I have them anymore. I may have thrown them out, but I guess it just reminds me of childhood stuff when you said slip and slide. But I love to like rollerblade. When's the last time like you like on the street? Like
Ooh.
Like I love rollerblading so much. Yes, it is very dangerous for me because although I am athletically inclined, I'm very accident prone at the same time.
Sure.
Um, I've even had Jamie's Doberman. Like I would be on my rollerblades and let during COVID when we had nothing else to do,
Sure.
let her Doberman pull me around on the streets. And but he's
Nice.
really good. So he would stop when I needed him to stop, like at a stoplight. Like I would brake and he would feel me brake and I'd be like, stop, and he would stop. So he listened very well. He was very well behaved dog. But I can imagine people's faces when they see just a Doberman. I have a leash, I got a Doberman, and I'm just on my rollerblades and he's
That's
pulling
funny.
me. I'm like, I'm still skating though, just to kind of keep the flow and to not
Sure.
bump and to not let my rollerblades hit a rock and I fall. But like, I think rollerblading is so much fun. I'd rather rollerblade than bike, to be honest.
Interesting. I haven't put on rollerblades for quite a while, and I can't. I definitely haven't done it outside for a long time. The last time I did it was like indoors at like a rink,
Yeah.
like a elementary school or middle school skate night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
I did that a
that's
lot.
cool. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like there's those things like that. Like I would have never expected that for you.
Yeah.
That I think it just brings so much fun.
Yeah.
Well, let us know next time you throw on the rollerblades.
I'll put it on my story. I'll be like, I
That'd be
got the
awesome. Tag us. Yeah.
rollerblade.
You know
Yeah.
something else that came to mind too, and these are a lot of fun because I think you have like we both try to stay active and do different things to try to push ourselves, right? But and like when they say fun run, usually fun runs are not really fun. It's a 5K. It's not fun. It's just a 5K for a good cause. But there have been a couple of runs that I've done that were a ton of fun. And I think of when I think of like, oh, this is actually fun. The Mud Factor run that I've done a couple times, a lot of fun. And then also there was one that was inspired by Wipeout. You know that TV show Wipeout?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They had like all of those like smaller versions of those obstacles. And
Nice.
we did those like 2 years in a row. This was a little while ago, but that was just so much fun. It's like you're
Yeah.
running, but at the same time, it's like you're just going down these big water slides and inflatables. And it's like you just felt like a kid. You know what I mean? It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. And they don't do it anymore, which I'm bummed about. But um, yeah, stuff like that, you know,
Yeah.
I get a
Yeah.
lot of joy out of.
Yeah. So when you said slip and slide, I'm like, I just think of like when you're a little kid, and I'm like, I love rollerblading so much.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I do it as a grown man.
We're in our mid-30s. We could do these things still. No one says we can't yet.
I I told Rachel, I said with our kids, I still run around with them like crazy. And I said, I feel like there's one way that this is gonna end for me, and it's probably gonna be an injury. It's not gonna be like I'm determined to make sure that it's not like, oh, I'm just so tired, I can't do it anymore. Like that's never gonna happen. It's
Yeah,
definitely gonna be I'm playing too hard and then I tear my ACL. That's probably what's gonna happen. But it's the life I choose to live.
there you go.
Yep.
Nice. It's like my dad. My dad is in it, 71, 72, 71, 71. And my almost 3-year-old nephew, like he'll be on the I just saw them recently a few weekends ago, and he'll be on the laying my dad will be laying on the ground, and then my nephew's just like walking on his stomach, and then he'll grab him and he'll play with him and he'll like swing him back and forth, and I'm like, oh my god, dad, like be careful. And he's like, I'm fine. And I'm like, I mean, I'm sure you are, but like and so my dad is super young at heart, but I'm
See,
like,
there you
I'm over
go.
here like all stressed out. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, fine, just don't get hurt. And like climbing all over him, accidentally kicks him in the face, that type of thing. I'm like,
You
oh my
know,
god.
that's just one of those things you expect. And you expect and accept. It's like it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I might get a tooth knocked out. So be it. So it's gonna
exactly.
happen. So yeah, anyway, so that was just some fun stuff. So that like I've always said, if you guys have anything that you want to share with us that you feel like is something that you find fun, would love to know.
Yeah,
And like I said, maybe we'll even put that in our stories. What do you do
yeah,
for fun?
yeah.
I think that'd be interesting to see,
Cool.
the kind of stuff that people do.
Yeah,
So yeah. All
cool.
right. Cool.
Well, that was good.
This was a good episode, I think.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
we'll we'll have Nicole on later, but that was a good filler for Nicole. There you go, Nicole. That was for you.
Shout out to Nicole. Yep. And as Deb said earlier on, many more to come. So
And many more. What did I say? There's no end in sight.
no end in
Is that what
sight.
they
That's what
said?
you said. Yeah. Look at this. If you guys are not watching the video, I'll explain what her face looks like. Regret. She wishes she hadn't have said that.
No, it was just a statement, like a declaration. I
Not
don't
to
know.
me. Not to me. Meant a lot. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So this means you can't talk crap about me anymore when I'm not on the show.
Oh, that will never happen. Here's the thing. That's when you need to be concerned.
Mm. Okay, point
It's like,
taken.
oh, Deb's fantastic. She's awesome. I have nothing bad to say about her. It's like, oh,
Like,
the show's almost over. It's the end of
I'm
the road.
like, we're almost done. Josh is not.
It's
We're almost
like,
just happy with
oh,
it's over. It's over.
oh, this is okay. Let me say this one last thing because I know we're trying to get out of here, but it's kind of reminded me of this. This is gonna be a whole different topic that I know better than to say this right now, but I'm gonna do it anyways. It's kind of like I've always had this thing where when you have people, whether they're dating or whether they're married on social media, that post too much about their significant other. Like if it's an everyday thing and it's like these long paragraphs about how much that person means, that to me is like, that's always like, this is not going to last because
Hey, don't hate.
I'm just saying, Deb, that's the track record is not good. I'm just saying it's that stuff's weird to me because I'm like, what are we doing here? This seems like a lot. Like not that it's, every once in a while it's very nice. I don't mind that. I do that with my own wife, but every day, like some people are like every day, it's like, oh, they mean so much. Like, do they? So that being said, it's similar to this podcast thing. If I stop making fun of you, then it's like it's a problem. You know what I mean? But as long as I keep making fun of you, things are good here.
Okay, well,
That's
that's
how I
good.
justify it in my head.
I'm so glad.
I can tell by your enthusiasm. All right. Well, this has been fun.
Well, this has been fun, but
Perfect.
okay.
All right. It's gone on too long. Deb, where can they follow us?
It always goes to you guys can follow us on all social media is at Connectable Podcast, except for Twitter is at Connectable Pod.
Nice.
Say
Look at
that.
that.
Was that good? See?
Drop the mic.
I am.
Boom. That was perfect.
See, I didn't even practice.
It only took 129 episodes. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, please head over to Apple Podcast to give us a 5-star rating and review. We are still at 22 ratings and reviews. So if you could get us a 30 at least, it would feel nice. And we would appreciate it. And yeah, until next time, we will see you guys later. See ya.
Peace.
Thanks for watching the show. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you like it, share it, and hit the subscribe button to get a new episode every week. We'll see you next time on the Connectable Podcast.